Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the Four Keeps Advent Part 5. Today is September 16th, 2019, and you are loved. We have a very sleepy kitten in LB's spot right now, so you can take a gander towards that lovely little Kiki. Don't be too loud, though. It might wake them up. Also, for all of you who are joining us here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures this Monday evening at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have finally updated our character busts for all of you. The original busts were our level 1 party, which I had just poorly kind of cropped out, but thanks to Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com, we were able to get those properly updated. So, enjoy the new looks. All of you audiocast listeners, the easiest way to check out those new looks is to either join us on Discord, and you can get there through our Patreon at patreon.com/indooradventures, or you can click the link below because we have made sure that there is a way for you guys to join our Discord. Also, another thing that we offer through Patreon is our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community at large, but also from each other. So if you have any questions for us during the extent of this game, feel free to either drop them in the chat below or go on our Discord and ask us there. Other than that, we do have a merch store that is currently in transition away from our Streamlabs shop to a new Teespring shop. The only way that you can access the Teespring currently, because I don't have a good link for it yet, is through our Discord once again. So I would suggest checking that out. Other than that, that is my spiel. So RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ and I'm playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'm playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Boy, I'm Cyber. I'm playing Arjan. He's a Black Dragonborn Cleric and Blood Hunter.
And I'm Wings, and I'm going to be playing Coriander, the Eladrin Paladin.
I'm the Indoor Adventurer. I'm very confused what's going on right now, but tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, after a encounter with the former chieftain of the Treadthunder Clan, one Herois, who was being animated by Chorin, a Shadow Talker, you were, Gwen, you left a body out in the middle of the street, which was, in hindsight, not a very great idea, but the next day, the lot of you decided that you were going to have a funeral for Herois, in which Arjan did not attend because a dragonborn looking cultist man would probably not be very well received at the funeral of a figure who hated dragon cultists so much. After this funeral, you were all, Gwen, you ended up forming a council of several other Goliaths, and they expressed that because you are an outsider, they needed, the general populace of the Treadthunder Clan needed a way to see that you were willing to work for the people. And in doing so, a lot of you then had to go and fight a group of Peritons, kind of deer, stag-looking avian creatures that were known for specifically targeting elves, which is kind of why Cori and Caelum ended up getting targeted, mostly during that fight. However, you were able to defeat them with the help of your halfling companion Phillip, and as you all returned back to the Treadthunder Clan the following morning, Phillip let Arjan know that Gwen had a sister, and Arjan, seeming to almost glaze over it, insisted that Phillip sign a contract ensuring that he would be the first employee, the first official employee, rather, of the Tyrant Security Group. And Phillip, seeing as how he needed a job and the money seemed good, decided that he was going to head off to Shroudport. Phillip, of course, met Caelum as he was on his way out, and Caelum, you ended up giving Phillip Gwen in a bottle. It was not a real Gwen, but using your portrait spell on a glass container, you were able to give him an instance of Gwen peacefully playing her flute along a hillside. And that seemed to be enough for Phillip to kind of keep his spirits up, and he wished you all farewell. So, we are going to pick up with Gwen, one of the people that Phillip did not wish farewell to. So, Gwen, what is your plan currently?
Is this currently the morning he left?
Yes, this is the morning that he left. It
Okay,
is already past the point of him having
yeah.
exited town, and he
Yeah.
is now, quite rightfully so, making his way to Shroudport.
Okay, all right. Kitten is adjusting. Hold on. Pause for Kitten. And Gwen's gonna go find Cori. Or that's who she's gonna kind of find on the. Hey, Cori.
Mhm.
Hey, have you seen Phillip? I came up with like a sweet plan as to how we can like go to Greenreach and not have to stay there for too long.
Did I know that Phillip left? Am I aware of this?
You have not. Phillip really tried to give what he described as a halfling goodbye, and it was only through the mewling / neighing of his goat companion Todd and his shaky chainmail that he was spotted by Caelum.
I see. All right. All right. All right. I haven't seen him. What did you have in mind?
All right, so like I don't really want to go into it with my family about like why I left or like, you know, why like I just don't want it to be a thing. So I'm gonna like
There.
we're gonna say that I had amnesia and somehow ended up at Shroudport. And then Phillip comes along because he heard about this tale of me as an adventurer and we fell in love and now we're like he told me all about my family and my past, but we're so in love that we have to just go on our honeymoon right now because we've missed out on so many years.
All right. That sounds an awful lot like lying.
Well, it's the whole thing is a lie.
Yes, of course it would be. And Gwen, I'm not very good at lying.
Well, no, you don't have to say anything. I'll like, you know, act or something.
Okay.
Well, I'll pretend I'm a mute and he can act. I don't know.
I have a vague feeling that Phillip would be a good actor.
I don't know. He seems to have those sort of qualities.
A feature, you might say.
Yeah.
All right. This could work. We're going to have to tell Caelum. He's too insightful. He'll see through it.
Oh yeah, no. The party's got to know because you guys are going to have to. I mean, you don't have to come with, but
I'm definitely coming, Gwen. The Raven Queen seems to think that I should go to Greenreach. So.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you can come to Greenreach, but like, you don't have to like sit and talk to the bio parents.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Just whatever you need from me, let me know, and I will do it.
I might need like a nice dress, like something that will cover up my tattoos.
Ooh, well, I don't have anything in your size.
Really? Why?
I might be able to. I could write home and ask my father. We're planning on not going there for another month yet, right? I could ask my father to send us a gnomish get
No,
up.
that's fine. Well, just once we get closer to Greenreach, we'll need to go shopping, so.
Oh, yes. Okay, that sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that.
Yeah, get some halfling leaf, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I don't, but I would like to.
All right. Well, let's find the rest of the gang. See if we can find this goat man.
Sure thing. I'll get up and help Gwen find the others.
Okay, sounds good. So, because Caelum is still out and walking about, you would end up encountering him first, as Arjan was still in the tent.
Caelum!
Hey, hi.
What's up, Dieter?
Nothing much.
Have you seen Phillip? I've come up with a plan. I have a plan.
Yeah, he left a few hours ago.
To go where?
He said he was off.
Like, he left? Left?
Yeah.
He didn't even say goodbye.
Why would he leave?
I was going to have a rematch. I didn't say goodbye to Todd.
I don't know. He kind of looked like he was, going with a purpose, so I didn't stop him.
Did he, like, say anything?
He said, I guess he said thank you. He also said that you're the ones taking care of us. When I said we'll be taking care of Gwen, I just listened to the episode this morning. He didn't say he was heading for Shroudport. He only told Arjan he was heading to Shroudport.
Wah.
Yeah, I have no idea where he went or why.
Okay, that's weird. Right, he's the one who wanted to do all this shit in the first place. All right, I guess fuck him then.
Really quick to indoor. Is that what he looked like? What you posted in a Twitch chat?
What? Oh, yeah. He kind of did look like he had just gotten done crying. Like, it's really hard to hide the puffy eyes, even though he does have the actor feet. It's still... He wore his emotions on his sleeve.
I think I'll omit that.
Oh,
I'll admit
no.
Well, that's bullshit.
It's not bullshit, it's emotions.
What?
No, I didn't say that.
Oh. You didn't say that he was crying?
No.
No.
Oh.
Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he just had to go do something.
Well, why wouldn't he say what he was doing?
I don't know. That's your fiance?
No. Caelum. No. That's not what it is. Oh, fuck. Spent all morning on this plan. And she starts tromping off.
Wait, what plan?
Okay. So Gwen, where are you heading as you tromp?
Wherever, I guess. She's frustratedly stomping away.
Okay, Arjan, make a perception check.
21.
You definitely hear Gwen just being like, well, where the fuck did he go? Like, she's not exactly the quietest individual.
Just like poking his head out of the tent very cartoonishly. Where did he go?
What? What?
You seem very frustrated.
Yes. Phillip just fucking left.
Yeah, did he not say goodbye to you?
No. He didn't even say goodbye to Cori.
Oh, wait, I knew you didn't say goodbye to you.
What?
Right. Gwen, do you want to come in?
I mean, I was gonna go stomp around for a little bit.
I think you need to hear something.
Okay. She's gonna trepidatiously step into the tent. What's up?
Are you still planning to go to Green's Reach?
Well, I don't know anymore. I mean, as the only point of going up there for me was that we were going to do the thing and sign the paperwork. But now that he's gone, like, why the fuck would I mean, I know Cori's got the thing, so we have to do the thing. But, like, what's the point?
I don't know. There were a lot of things there that I think I'm missing out on. what are any of these things?
Marriage thing. Cori's season is probably up there, and then there was a furball plum.
Right. And the marriage thing was so that your family could.
I don't know.
I don't know your politics.
It's the whole. Yeah, it's just politics. So they could have honor or whatever.
So. Would you want to go over there to see your brother or
Who?
your?
Like my cousins?
Yeah, you. Phillip told me you have a brother.
I don't have a brother. That was the whole point of the marriage thing, because my parents couldn't have another kid.
You have a brother, Gwen.
What are you talking about?
Before he left, Phillip wrote to your brother to tell him that you were alive.
How is that even possible? When?
When did he write?
No, when did I get a fucking brother?
Did Phillip tell him the day?
He did. He said 10 years ago.
10 years ago. His name was... What was his name?
Owain.
Owain.
Owain?
Mm-hmm.
So why the fuck do we need to get married then?
Because he's 10 years old.
Thanks, voice in the sky.
You're welcome.
So why didn't he tell me? Why did he tell you?
That he was scared.
Scared of what?
I didn't want to pry. He seemed very emotional, he was crying.
Okay. So Phillip left.
Yep.
Told you that I had a brother that was born 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he go?
Treadthunder.
Why?
Because he wanted to make a name for himself as an adventurer.
Why didn't he say goodbye?
I assume because he was scared.
I don't know what the fuck he wanted me to do with this information.
Neither do I. I was just told to tell you that.
Well, great. Now I want to go up to Shroud or Greenreach even less. Got shit to figure out. All right, thanks. She'll just push herself out of the tent.
Caelum is looking down at the ground, just like.
What?
Nothing.
I got tribe things to do. Trudge.
Okay. So, we are going to attempt something that has not been successful yet, kind of, on this stream, which is we're going to try and fast play some stuff.
No.
That's all right. Nobody has made contract with Weird Wizards yet.
I want to become a warlock.
Fuck.
Hold on, I want to do small business sim part 2.
Let me build you up a patron real quick. So
I'll take odd, okay?
okay, so
God.
I would love that. That would be great and hilarious for me.
He would be all over that.
But so what is it that you guys would like to do? Because Gwen has previously stated that she would like to stay for a month. in the tribe to actually make sure that things are built up successfully, that everyone is on the same page when it comes to having a Goliath chieftain who is actually a halfling. So we will start with Gwen. Gwen, what would you like to do for, let's break it down into your first set of 10 days.
So Gwen is going to get to know the Knuckles better, the members of the tribe that don't know her, and she'll prove to them that she is a Goliath and that she is, part of the tribe. Excuse me. She will call a council with the council. The first order of business is come up with a cool name for the council. DM, I'll put that on you while I'm talking about my other stuff. And then she will tell them all about the Dark Star and the dangers in the Feywild so that they know what's going on and why she probably will need to go. And she'll set up basically points of communication throughout the tribe. So like Gwen is the head, but Chorizo is her right hand, and then there's it's a branching thing, so someone always has someone to talk to, and if they don't know the answer they can go up higher. And she'll, in the first 10 days she wouldn't start, but they're gonna be packing up and moving north soon, so making preparations, making sure everyone's good, that sort of thing.
Okay. Make a performance check.
Performance? Why are you giving me all
And this will be with advantage.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wait.
I found my Caelum dice.
Oh!
It was in my dice bag.
God damn it.
With all the rest of the gemmeries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not great. Wait, no, I don't roll this one anymore. You have failed me for the last time.
Prepare to die.
Pause, hold on. That's a 13 plus. Performance is a +1. 14.
Okay. So basically the way that you prove yourself to be a Goliath to the general populace, to these Knuckles, is by using the powers of the Runtax that allow you to lift twice as much as you would normally be able to. So they just see a halfling then bench pressing Chorizo, like, no problem. You are performing all of these very large feats of strength, and you are very quickly just earning their admiration for being as strong as you are, as well as kind of providing this outsider's insight. Talking with Stryker, you managed to figure out a good pattern for the tattoo that you will be receiving for your chieftainship, and you will begin the process of actually acquiring that as well. So, next up, Arjan, what would you like to do for the next 10 days?
Make potions.
Okay. So, with your... Yep.
Preferably without spending money on them.
Yes. So, because your friend is currently the chieftain, and because the Treadthunder Clan is a nomadic people, they actually have collected a plethora of herbs and other plants that they use for their own herbal poultices. So they are willing to then share their stock with you, allowing you to then make these potions without necessarily having to spend your own money.
Are they cool with sharing? Because,
Chua has no problem with you, and she is at the head of the actual, creation of all of these.
Cool.
You also receive clothing properly sized for you, as well as they make sure that you have several sets of replacement clothing as well, as they have heard the tales from Gwen as well as from others of what happens on occasion where your clothing is destroyed. So, you are going to be spending some time making some potions. You'll be able to make 2 potions for every 10 days. So at the end of this, you will be able to make 6 potions in total. As you're kind of working very bare bones in this place, but you're also learning a lot. So in the future, moving on from your time here, it will actually take half the time it would normally take to make health potions, as you've kind of learned more of this traditional styled medicine to develop these potions. Caelum, what would you like to do during this time?
He is going to ask Chua to teach him about the Skywatchers.
Okay. Yeah, and she is more than willing to do so. She explains that it is a very difficult and lengthy process, but she can at least show you some of the basics for it. And from your understanding, being a Skywatcher is essentially she casts augury. And actually looks towards the clouds rather than having a set, like a deck of cards or dice or anything. She will actually spend time to look at the surroundings to then gain this ability, to gain this extra knowledge for the benefit of the tribe.
Okay.
And then, did you have anything else you would like to do?
A few nights, when he sleeps, he's going to modify his chamber.
Okay.
And I kind of wanted to experiment a little bit.
Of course.
One night, he tries to open a door onto the plateau from his chamber.
Make an Arcana check.
Welcome back, Dice. Arcana. 18.
With an 18, yes, you are able to do so.
He's a little taken aback by this, and he just quickly shuts the door.
Okay. Sounds good. And as you looked out onto the plateau, you saw, just for a brief moment, that there was this connecting space, and you're not sure what would happen if you left your chamber to then go onto the plateau.
That's gonna be for another night.
But the connection is there. All right, and Cori, what would you like to do over your 10 days?
Brood, mostly. A lot of wistful sighing, a lot of staring at the moon. If she can help it, she doesn't trance or eat about as much as she can handle. If she doesn't do anything like overly taxing that she needs like a official long rest for, then she just doesn't do that. She'll try and make herself useful wherever she can, and practice a lot with one-armed combat. I do think that at some point she'll contact her father and ask him about prosthetics just in general. She won't necessarily tell him that it's her who needs it. She will give him measurements and stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so he would eventually message you back during this time, kind of asking very curiously as to why you're interested in prosthetics, but that is about as deep as it goes in terms of the look. But he lets you know that if you are interested, he can possibly start building something. Typically, prosthetics are stationary. They don't have any kind of articulation, or if they do, it's very stationary. Like you would curl your hand and then it would stay curled until any given particular time. He has expressed, or he has let you know that there are some Fey warriors who have actually just gotten a kind of longer arm-like appendage and then stuck a locked gauntlet onto the end of, so that way they can still hold a sword even if they aren't necessarily capable of otherwise swinging a sword hand. But if you are interested, he is willing to look at possibly researching how something would be able to then move without necessarily like a prosthetic that's able to move based off of the will of the person who currently has it on.
Right. She'll express interest in both of those things. Like the locked gauntlet thing sounds like it'd be perfect for a shield. So she'll express interest in that. Not necessarily try to make it sound urgent or anything.
Okay. I'm at college. Everything's fine. I didn't lose my arm, but like, what do you know about prosthetics?
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
She'll try to kind of slough it off onto Caelum, and be all like, yeah, I'm just worried about him, in case he loses any more limbs, whatever. And then give him measurements that are clearly way too long for the measurements she gave for his leg.
Okay. Sounds good. So he is definitely going to be doing that. So that is your guys' first 10 days. There are a few bits and pieces that we will be also filling in during this time. So, during one of the nights that you guys are having during this time, Arjan, you end up having another dream sequence with Makoth. She lets you know that they have found a shop. They've set up in the shop, and she feels like she's in a good place. And when she sees you for kind of the first time in a while, she looks at you and just says, "Now, I know you didn't always have wings on your back. Is this a new development? What?"
It is.
Is everything all right?
I think so. I haven't told her that Tarlane is trapped in a dream crystal within my heart.
No, you have not.
I will divulge that information.
Okay.
And I also do want to tell her that I've sent somebody to Shroudport to check on the political situation there, and who will hopefully get back to me. And
she nods, says, "All right. Well, do you let her know the name of your organization?"
No.
Okay.
Well, because it's not an official thing.
That's fair. And she says, "All right. Well, I'm sure that you made the right call. From what you've said, it seems like he's doing well enough. I mean, he seemed strong enough after what you told me about the encounter."
Yeah. I think I want to do that more often.
Hire people.
Give new adventurers a head start.
Well, I think that's very noble. I don't know how to say it, so I'm just going to come out with it. I've heard from Oliver. Apparently the Isle is not doing well. Not necessarily your shop, but the Isle as a whole. It's been roughly 20 days since anyone has seen the dragon, and his command over the weather has disappeared with him. The people there weren't geared for winter. They've been suffering quite a bit. Thankfully, the companion that Oliver brought with him, Dren, has been making heated rocks for people, and they seem to be selling rather well, as people still need to stay warm on the Isle, but all things considered, business is both doing well and not well.
Understandable. And Arjan is very like he's angry about it. He's not expressing it, but he's definitely angry at this moment.
Well, let's see. Oh, the dice popped out. She doesn't take notice. And she says, sales have not exactly been the best since we've moved, so I find myself having a little bit of free time. Is there anything that I can do for the lot of you that you would need me to look into or possibly investigate?
Is Makoth near the pit?
You would take her a little bit to get there, but she's near enough.
If you can dig up any lower on the pit, that might be helpful.
Of course, I can. I'll start looking into it.
Specifically, apparently there were a couple of dragon cultists who came out of it, or who claimed to be from it a few years ago.
I see. And are you looking to find them?
No, they're dead. I think they're dead. Are they dead? They're not dead? Okay.
As far as you were aware, only one had met their demise, and it was a red dragon cultist that Makoth had actually told you about several months ago at this point.
No, I guess I just want to know what exactly kind of crazy to sign up for.
All right. Well, I will be sure to... I'll be sure to look into it. I did have a question as well. Not necessarily about the cult. After you help your friends, and after you stop the Dark Star and this long winter, what do you see yourself doing? What does a draconic retirement even look like?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I don't know what a draconic retirement looks like, but I know exactly what a blood hunter's retirement looks like.
I don't think those are the same. From what I've heard, blood hunters don't exactly retire in traditional means.
Exactly.
But you at least... I think you have at least a good idea. You said that you wanted to help up-and-coming adventurers. You could try and do something with that.
That's what I'm trying to do now.
Makes sense. And who knows? Maybe that would be your end game.
Where do I see this conversation going?
She was just curious.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. After you kind of let that after you let her know, she just kind of nods.
What about you? What's your grand plan for retirement? Or is this it?
I mean, you never really stop being a shopkeeper. Somebody has to keep your doors open, keep food on the table. And honestly, there's so many variables. Thinking about my future, I don't really have just one plan. It was never just the one, I'm not sure if I would ever really find myself in a situation where I could take a partner or a partner would take me. Not that I wouldn't want to, it's just Well, I always find myself falling for those who are just out of arm's reach, no matter how close we seem. And I think that maybe having a small family could be rewarding, but I do want to see the world and travel. I feel as though I've experienced a darker path in life than others, and I would like to know what's across the mountains to the west, to the ocean to the east, but I don't want to go alone. And at some point, I feel like a life like that would be lonely. So instead, I am focusing on my shop. And I am using my arcane arts to try and earn an honest living in the hopes that someday someone might remember me and smile for once. That's my plan.
Yeah, Arjon's just like nodding.
And she kind of looks at you and gives a very small smile.
Arjon is not being as awkward as I am right now.
That's totally fine. And she says, "Do you think you'll ever come to the Gated Glen?"
I'm sure.
Well, when you do, I will be sure to have pumpkin bread on the table for you.
Thank you.
I enjoy the time that we get to spend, Arjon.
So do I.
And at that, she'll motion over to the dragon chess table and says, "Best 2 out of 3?"
You'll kick my ass and you know it.
And she just lets you see that she just has a even wider grin at this point. And then the two of you just kind of spend your evening just idly chatting, playing dragon chess, talking about future business plans that you might have. She is a small business owner, so if you have any questions for her about logistics, she is more than willing to help you out in that matter. And that is what happens for the first 10 days of you guys being there. So Gwen, what are you doing for the next set of 10 days?
We're having 4 sets of 10 days?
3 sets of 10 days.
Oh, right. Start planning the migration north. Train with her brother a little bit more. Probably try to talk to Cori. Because she seems like she's a little upsetty. And the second week might have Gwen a little bit more free time.
Yeah. Gwen, you definitely have a decent bit of free time. After you've kind of laid out the groundwork for the we will call them the Treadthunder Gathering.
The council?
Council?
No.
Okay,
no.
We'll still work on it. They're coming up with names and spitballing.
Yeah, we're spitballing.
We're spitballing. We'll figure it out. So, after your council has kind of gotten these, has received your ideas about what they would like to do specifically, they are more than willing to go out, and seeing as how it is going to be time for migration soon, they are willing to go out and kind of fix things up. It is at this time, Gwen, that Caelum from the ranching and livestock community ends up kind of calling you aside and lets you know,
I know that we did not get to say it as commonly as we should, but thank you, Stumpfoot.
For which thing?
Well, for stopping those avian fuckwads from stealing all my Auroch.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime, dude.
I've noticed in your travel, you have a very weak steed.
Are you talking about Cybra?
What? No, I am talking about the old horse that you have over there.
Oh.
And he points towards Old Bess.
It's just like half dead. Oh. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about her. I thought she might have died.
You think your steed may have died at one point.
Well, I ride the wolf, okay?
Who rides the horse?
No one. We use it to pull a cart.
You have been pulling a cart with that thing? For how long?
Yeah, it was kind of our only option, okay?
Chieftain, if I may. You may select any one of our Aurochs to take with you on your travel.
Oh. Well, thank you. Yeah, that'd be great. I think I should get Cori to pick one out because she can actually, like, converse with them sometimes.
Of course. We will arrange for you to have a larger cart, one more befitting of a proud creature such as an Auroch.
Yeah.
We will take care of your honestly sad-looking creature in the meantime.
Yeah, I think she just needs some, like, free time, you know? So life of labor is not for her.
We will treat her with the respect and dignity that we would show any beast of the chieftains.
Thank you. I'm sure Old Bess appreciates it. Yeah, let me go find Cori and then we can check some out, all right?
He gives you a bow.
Of course, my chieftain.
Cool. And she'll tread off to find Cori.
Okay. And Cori, what have you been doing for the course of this second 10-day?
More brooding. I'm basically living off of narcotic tea. The
narcotic tea would have
doing
ended
peyote?
within the pain-killing kind of phantom limb numbing tea. That was only for the first 5 days.
I will drink tea then. I'll drink herbal tea that's not narcotic, if I must.
If you would like, you can always go back to Chua to try and re-up, but that's entirely
fine.
up to Cori.
It's fine. Cori wouldn't do that. She's not a druggie. She will enjoy some nice tea, even though she can't taste it. She will enjoy she enjoys the texture and the warmth of it. It's very comforting. When is the full moon? Is that going to be in the next 10 days?
It's going to be in the next set of 10 days after that.
Okay. All right. Coriander helps pick out an Auroch, she's going to speak to it and find out that her name is Rumble Thunder.
Okay.
And Rumble Thunder tells her name.
It is a proud feeling that you receive when you lock eyes with this Auroch.
Now, explain again what an Auroch is like. I've been imagining a bison, but I feel like that might not be exactly correct.
Isn't it more like a rhino?
It is honestly more like a bison, but like a giant, like a giant bison kind of bull steed thing. It has much larger curled horns, almost like a ram, but they seem to have little pricks and spindles that come off of it, which you're guessing is probably for the rutting season to show dominance. But because you have selected Rumble Thunder, the female Auroch, there are no horns to be found along the head, as that is more of a male Auroch thing.
Rumble Thunder.
All
right. And
but yes, it's big, shaggy, almost like a water buffalo.
Yours is
dire bison.
Blue. So dire bison. That sounds about right.
Pretty close. Yeah.
So, and at some point, Gwen was gonna talk to Cori because she seems to be having trouble. Yeah, I guess she'll concede that she's impatient to get to Greenreach, but she's entirely realistic about the fact that she's not really ready to travel yet. If she's being impatient, it's more with herself.
And I was also going to extend, Teresa would have offered to kind of retrain you on how to fight during this time.
Totally take that offer. Yeah.
Gwen will watch from the sidelines and just say, "Entertain me."
Cori gets tossed around by Teresa for a while.
She do. Eventually, about halfway through the second set of 10 days, you are finally able to kind of go toe-to-toe with Teresa on this, though, as you regain your form, regain your footing.
Nice. On board.
All right. So, you guys also receive a much larger cart that is fit for a beast such as an Auroch, and you also receive Rumble-Thunder the Auroch. And Olbess can finally just... She can just stay. She can just chill out and live her Twilight horse years to the T's. So, Arjan, you are going to continue making potions. And Caelum, what would you like to do?
I think he's going to, noticing Cori's behavior, kind of try and talk to her, but then see that she's training with Teresa and with Gwen. He's just going to just step back from it, like, okay, they've got it handled. On another night, he's going to open the door again to the plateau.
Okay.
And this time step out.
All right. And as you step out, the door shuts behind you, and as you look behind, the door is gone. Effectively, what has happened is that you have gone from sleeping into a meditative state, and as such, have cut your sleep time in half.
He's going to try and open the door again to get back into his room.
The door is not there.
Ah.
So you are now on the plateau.
You played yourself.
He just stands there kind of like mouthing something, but it's like incomprehensible as he's walking up the steps, opens the door, closes it behind him, and just starts reading up on fucking Shatterkai.
All right. Sounds good. Make a history check.
Oh. Okay. 23.
Okay, so with a 23, I will answer any 2 questions you have about Shatterkai truthfully.
Fuck. Relationship with the Raven Queen.
The relationship...
Aside from what I already know, that they're her followers, or they're already elves that were taken into the Shadowfell.
So, what you learn about the Shatterkai is that they are defenders, for the most part. They do not go out to try and assail other planes. They have made their lot in life within the Shadowfell. There are written accounts that you discover during this time that seem like it is from a force from some other plane that had made their way into the Shadowfell and were trying to actually attempt to get to the Palace of Memory, the location of where the Raven Queen is. However, during this time, the book describes it as there was nothing. There was total silence, and then that silence was filled with the fluttering of thousands and thousands of feathers as they watched as individuals in this raven regalia just apparated one after another and laid waste to the entire battalion. Only one member of this unit, an elf man, was able to survive. And as time went on, you began seeing in this kind of journal more that they felt like they were close to death and they were unsure as to what was going to happen to them while within the Shadowfell.
Great. So then there's like no known account of Shatterkai outside of the Shadowfell. They're strictly defenders of the Shadowfell, of the Palace of Memories.
Yes. You do not find any information about them outside of the actual Shadowfell, outside of the Shadowfell. You do, however, know you end up finding a very old book that does make reference to them from before the Raven Queen's ascension, and it seemed like that was the name of the elven followers who actually had put their faith in the Raven Queen herself during the time of the Sundering. That was the kind of religious name that they had called themselves.
Before they entered the Shadowfell, was there a place they specifically like dwelled? Would there be like ancient Shatterkai like legends on this, or like ruins on this plane that we could try and investigate?
I wish I could answer that, but you've already asked 2 questions.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
So that is what you learn about the Shatterkai. All right. Sounds good. So, as it's about halfway, you've been here about 15 days. Caelum, you have a 16 passive perception, correct?
E.
So as you have been kind of taking stock of everything around you, just being able to actually spend time to yourself. You guys haven't necessarily been moving. You haven't had any big fuckers come and try and thwart you guys or attack you. You have just had downtime. Over the evenings, you have been setting out the compass to see what happens as the moon shifts. And as you watch the moon change forms, as it kind of goes along its waning and then waxing pattern again, you see that the compass starts pointing in different directions, always pointing to the southeast, but you see that it kind of shifts slightly. And then when the moon changes a full phase again, you see that it changes slightly again to show a different direction. It doesn't seem like it is actually pointing to a singular place.
But it's always in the south.
It's always to the southeast.
He'll relay this information to the party when they have like dinner one night.
As a player, I wonder, since we're like staying in one place for a long time, I wonder if we could record this and then like triangulate the locations of each area.
Well,
this isn't a Coriander thing. Coriander's too much of a dum-dum to figure this out, but this is definitely like an Arjan Caelum thing.
Yeah, Arjan would have definitely like thought about it, but we don't have a map.
I do.
You
Pretty
do?
sure we have a map.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pulled it out like numerous times.
Okay. Great. I love it. Well, we will start like drawing just like lines, and like maybe like at where the line ends when it goes across the map, just like note the face of the moon.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Because like if we park ourselves for one place for a month, figure out the direction that those are going, go to a different place and do the exact same thing, those lines have got to intersect somewhere.
Yeah.
They will.
Sounds like a lot of bullshit to me.
So do we
It's
make a check for that, or
woven to me?
I would say make a survival check. And whoever is making this check will have advantage, as our 2 science bros are working together on this.
Good sir.
did I have blood die today?
Yes.
You have blood die?
Blood die every day.
Don't talk to me until I've rolled my blood die. That's a natural 1, so we're not going to use that.
That does need to be
They're double
a
11s. Survival 13.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't have a ruler It's hard to get like a really good straight edge. Even if you're using somebody's sword, there are like little nicks and grooves in it that make it hard to like make a straight
fuck
line.
you. I use the edge of my enduring spellbook that has no wear and tear on it.
That'd be great if you were the one making the lines.
Suck a
I'll
dick.
give it to him to make the lines.
Okay.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
30.
Yeah, so 13, and you're using the edge of Caelum's spellbook. Again, it's a little difficult as the book is not as large as the map is long, so you kind of have to like shift it down and then hope that you're getting the same straight angle the entire time.
Is the corner of the book a 90-degree angle?
It's actually
draw two
rounded at
lines?
the end.
It's one of those books.
Fancy.
But you managed to make lines. And over the course of your stay, you do manage to create a set of lines. Such that later this evening, I will send you guys an updated map that has these lines drawn on them with what a 13 survival would have given you.
I don't like the way you said that.
That's fine.
It's fine. It's not like it's going to intersect into some sort of like plot device or anything.
What?
What?
So, you guys have made these lines, and again, it is closer to the end of this second set of 20 that Chua actually calls in the four of you to her tent.
Are we getting together the Skyfire Council?
I'll dig
Oh yeah.
it. Is the Skyfire Council Cori, Caelum, Arjan, and you?
No. It's
Okay.
the Treadthunder.
The other one. Got
because
it.
the Skyfire always comes before the thunder.
I dig it. I was writing it down. That's why I couldn't because I would have hit my mic at the time. So there is exuberance deep in my heart for it. But Chua calls the four of you actually into her tent, and you guys can sit or stand. It really is of no concern to her. She sits down as well, kind of squats more so that she can be just near-ish the fire and not at her whole height. It seems like standing to her full height actually is a little bit painful for her. She's older as a Goliath, and Goliaths in general do not live to be elven lengths, halfling lengths. If anything, Arjan knows that when he gets older, in the next 70-odd years, he will also start getting... at least he believes that he will also start getting a little bit more frail. But Chua ends up sitting you all down and says, when you told me about these threats, Chieftain, this encroaching winter that you are facing off against, as well as this dark star, I decided to talk to the ancestors and see if maybe they have heard of anything like this before. As far as winter goes, seasons come and pass. They have not exactly experienced anything such as this, but this dark star that you have told us about, I have not heard of it in this name before, but through the Goliath tales, we know it as Congarika.
Ah,
The Kingdom of Nothing.
the Kingdom of Nothing. That's giant.
God, this is the episode for all the cool names.
And she takes some herbs and kind of tosses them into the fire, and as they do, the flame begins to billow up in the smoke above you. And as she begins to speak, you can see that there is almost a clearing that appears in the midst of the smoke, and you can see almost a field of blackness in the center of this. And she says, before dragons, before giants, before the titans, there was nothing. Not an absence, but a presence that filled the emptiness of space. A presence that claimed that emptiness for itself and was greedy in its desire to maintain that emptiness for itself. When the gods were born and the early beings began to inhabit that space, this angered the nothing. And so it waged war against the gods, seeking to devour them all into itself and reclaim the emptiness that was its very existence. But the young gods were powerful, and so they fought the nothing with all that they could, and came to the realization that in order to defeat the nothing, they must fill the ends of space with stars, clouds, colors, the sun and the moon, and most important of all, humanity. And as she's saying this, you see that the darkness that was inside of the smoke has tiny little stars that begin to visualize in it. And then you see that there is a brief moment of light, and you can see what appears to be a hillside that is in its early morning rise. And you can see that there are forms and figures that are there within the darkness. When the light was brought forth, it showed humanity other creatures who had called the emptiness their home. Creatures whose resentment is as old as the gods themselves. And for all our efforts, we drove back nothingness by filling it with life. This flood of new life broke nothingness into an infinite number of pieces, sending it all across the realm in infinite directions. But this was the first folly of the gods. In their young state, they were unable to destroy the nothing for good, and as such, it has been slowly rebuilding itself with the intent of creating the Congerika Knoll. I believe that your dark star and this kingdom of nothing are one and the same. There is no defeat to it from what I can see, from what the tales have told. At least not that has been done before.
So the ball of worms in space is a creation by the nothing, which is just a title for a really powerful being that was defeated by the gods that are currently our gods by making people, but they didn't defeat him. They just
Technically speaking, no, they didn't defeat them. They just pushed it further away.
Well, what's further than the moon?
Nothing.
God damn it.
Like the nothing? Like with the
She nods.
capital N? Okay.
Gwen, when you look up at the stars and you see the space between them, that is where the nothing is.
I thought that was just the sky dark.
And you
like
see...
when the sun goes away.
You see her close her eyes.
Then there's no light, so the sky is just dark.
Caelum is, like, at the same time doing whatever Shu is doing.
My chieftain, you have much to learn.
So the darkness is nothing?
Yes.
With a capital N.
She nods.
So is it, like, really far away, or, like...
From what you have told me, it is closer than it has ever been before.
Thanks, kitten. So like a month.
It has been, if what you have told me is true, and what I believe to be correct, time is not relevant to this thing. It has been plotting to devour the gods since their creation. A month, 2 months, 20 years? It is all the same to this creature, to this being. When it feels the time is right, then it will act. But signs like this usually have a herald. Someone to come in and make sure that if the plan is to be successful, that somebody is laying groundwork.
Oh, so like that's why the worms are here already.
I believe so.
Solid. See? I'm getting it. So, but like, why are they worms? If you're gonna send like creatures, why not send like a powerful beast?
It wouldn't be worms in this case. It'd be a parasite.
What's a parasite?
Something that latches on to another creature, drains its strength.
Like a bad boyfriend?
Woof. That is some trauma you're gonna need to work out later, Gwen. We are having a conversation about nothing.
I'm sorry, I've lived a life before you guys. Jeez.
This is a very philosophical enemy. Worms are like a symbol of decay. This is entropy. We oppose it just by existing.
Yeah, because we were created to stop it.
It is nothing, and we are something.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense. How is it actually nothing?
It's whatever we aren't.
We call it the nothing, because if it is successful, then there will be nothing left.
Right. So it is a thing.
She nods.
Well, if it's got a face, we can punch it.
And Chua just sort of nods and says,
I suppose that's true.
We took down a god, remember?
Caelum's just standing behind Gwen, shaking his head.
Well,
no one has told her she didn't kill it.
We have been trying to tell you
multiple times.
I mean, I'm feeling
believe you.
it. I'm feeling optimistic. Anyone can defeat nothing.
I do it every day.
My chieftain,
Yeah.
I need you to think about things realistically. If a god wanted you to assume that you had beaten it, it would let you. If there are those still who believe in it, a god is not dead.
Oh. But we defeated it.
You have set it back. And that I am sure that the creatures of the forest are thankful for.
I'll take it as a win.
But to defeat a god, you must eradicate all those who follow it, and then the creature itself. Because most gods believe in themselves, giving them even a little bit of power.
So is that like, we have to like, do people worship the nothing?
She shrugs. It has been far longer than any creature would be able to remember about it without asking those who were there at the beginning.
Are we making it worse right now?
It is not a god.
If it was there before us, I assume it will be thereafter.
Wait. Oh, gosh.
Though I
It's
suppose
not
it doesn't really matter much to us. We won't be there.
So this isn't us problem, but later or like now? We
Like
don't know.
or is this like the gods' problem?
I am not sure. If it is a god's problem, did you tell Chua about Cori's travel to the moon?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say.
It's kind of our problem because she got recruited to take care of this.
Usually, when something is the god's problem, it becomes my problem sooner or later. And this is one of them. Elestray recruited me specifically for this.
Cori, didn't you say that Elestray and the elves on the moon, they were keeping it back?
They're watching it,
Watching.
holding off its minions as best as they can. They are our last bastion.
No, we are our last bastion. They're vanguards right now. So the sooner we figure out how to take care of this problem, the better.
Defeat an all-powerful being. Yep. Sounds like some magic bullshit to me.
Like you said, Gwen, if it has a face, we can punch it.
I just want to make sure the tribe knows that there is danger out there and not just from other, people.
As one of your advisors, I do not think that it would be wise to let the general populace know. I will inform the other counselors, yes. But if everyone feels as if this darkness is going to come and swallow them whole, they will spend more time worrying about that than they will worrying about the health of the tribe.
Right, but we don't have, it's not something that they should worry about. It's something that's like a story that they should be told. Like, this is something that might one day happen. People should know, right? Right? And she's going to motion to her friends.
It might cause a panic.
But
I've been sent out to deal with people who were raving about the end times. It doesn't end well.
But this is the actual end times.
That's what they all say.
Coralon teaches that we should shelter the light, and that means keeping hope.
Okay. If you guys think so.
Being cautious is good, but if the people are afraid, despair is a killer.
Okay.
And it's not like we're going to keep it a secret from them forever. If or when we find a way to stop it, we can either tell them or go and stop it, and they can keep living their life in whatever bliss they want.
Well, the last couple weeks have been pretty good as far as the repopulation goes, so...
Chua just wide eyes. There have been many who have come into my tent exclaiming their joy about soon-to-be parents, and I am sure that Sigourney is looking forward to trying to raise most of them.
Their gestation period's really, really short.
Oh my.
No. I watch the skies for these kinds of things.
Oh.
Speaking of, if we're done talking about the Dark Star, Teresa never told me if I have any nieces or nephews.
He has been interested in a few Goliaths here and there, but he's... is dedicated.
Come on. Give me the deets. What's the gossip?
Well, you already know the woman who he has his eyes on.
Well, yeah, but why hasn't he made this move? He's never been shy.
Because they are both on your council.
So?
So there is a thing called nepotism.
I don't know what that means to,
It means that if Torizo and Barda ended up getting together, then Casil might second guess what happens when either Barda or Torizo votes and agrees with one another. It would create dissent.
Yeah, but like before that, he had plenty of time and didn't make his move.
We have been busy.
Oh. I want a niece or nephew, okay?
Well, tell him that.
I'm going to! But you said it's not okay!
Yes, I do not think that it is necessarily appropriate for two people on the same council to fraternize in this way.
What if they didn't tell anybody? What if it was like a secret affair?
What?
Then everybody here would already know.
I know. Just let me live the fantasy, okay?
While they're
You
doing
are the
that,
chieftain. Live whatever life you would like, and we will back your plays.
I don't condone any of this.
I'm gonna pull Arjan aside. I've been doing a bit of experimenting, and so when I go to sleep, I visit Brother Groon, but recently my lessons with him have concluded, and so I get deposited in a room, and I think it's mine to use however I wish. When I wasn't myself, I was able to create a sort of portrait into my memory, and a few nights ago, I actually opened a door into the Temple of Saloon, and this only happens when I sleep, but during this time, I woke up 4 hours later, so I switched from sleeping into a trance.
Okay.
That doesn't freak you out a little bit?
I have to be honest, I don't really know a lot about elves and how they sleep. I was given a very human-centric education.
Well, that's fair.
So what conclusion did you reach from this? Well, what do you think is going on?
There are doors in the fugue plane that I can open up in my dream space.
All right. And
I might
this is gonna
try
be
something.
sleep, right?
This might be sleep.
Have you sleeping? Is that a Salune thing?
No. When I was growing up, the head priest told me that trancing wasn't normal for someone like me, so they forced me to sleep.
But someone like you, I thought Cori trances.
They had a very skewed notion of what was normal.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to try. I don't know if it's safe, but I might be able to enter your dream.
I'm not comfortable with that.
That's fine. Okay, just putting it out there. I think I'm messing with things way above my weight class again, so I might shelve this one.
Is there somebody who would know about something like this?
I don't know any sleep experts, so maybe I can write a letter to Cori's dad, see if he knows anything. I could try and find Brother Groon. He did tell me if I ever needed him to look at the stars.
That seems like a plan.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm just dumping this on you.
I mean, no, I'm glad that you're telling me. It's just, I know I feel kind of useless. Like I don't really know how to help with this.
Your input really helps. Even if it's, you know, you don't know much about it. I appreciate your counsel.
So whenever I go to sleep and I see, I find myself in my dream space. Usually I have a devil talking me through all of this.
I know who Newell is, yes.
You do.
Yeah, they took you to Phlegathos.
I don't think Cori would appreciate me speaking with Newell.
Newell's busy, so I really wouldn't call them up for anything right now.
Back burner.
And again, I don't know what they were in life, but I'm not sure if they would know much about.
I'm thinking lawyer. The sort of slick back hair gives that sort of greasy kind of.
Yeah, they're really good at writing contracts.
Yeah, that was so excellent. Sorry, I shouldn't be. Paperwork. This is.
Have you told Arjan about the journal with Selune?
I believe he's told everyone in the party about that. That he can speak to his god via a journal in the Temple of Selune.
Would you be able to write in the diary about this? Or do you think you would be able to get insight from that?
It's still a bit damaged, but I can see if I can get contact with her.
It's worth a shot.
It's almost a full moon.
It is.
I haven't done the ceremony in a while. So, yeah, maybe I'll take some time and speak to her then.
Getting any information beforehand is probably going to help you out a lot. More than just going through random doors and ending up somewhere you don't want to be.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Arjan.
All right. So as the conversation with Chua has come to a close, Caelum, you've had your brief aside with Arjan. That is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who's decided to stop by and stick with us so far. Thank you to these excellent players for once again putting on an excellent game. And we will see you guys in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it is to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly leave us a review or comment on this video, possibly about how cute these friggin' kitties are. I love them so much. One of them's name is Talos. And we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody.
Steven!
What?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm RJ here on Indoor Adventures channel. Will you be an angel for a dumb Shatterkai? Every day, a Shatterkai overcharges a spell, causing mental and physical damage to themselves. Please call the number on your screen and join the 4 Keeps. For just 3 silver a month, 1 copper a day, You'll help pay for medical care for our dumb boy. Call within the next 30 minutes to receive a picture of one of our Shatter Guy whom you helped. Please call right now.
It's the same picture of Caelum every single month.
Yeah.
The Raven Queen.
So, welcome back, everybody, to our wonderful episode of Fast Play. Look at that. We're already 15, closer to 20 days in. Nothing weird has happened other than you guys getting quite a bit in terms of a lore dump. So, what would you guys like to do? Or are any of your plans changed or altered by the information that you've received?
Nope. Sounds like some big sky bullshit.
Yep. One of the days, Caelum will probably ask Coriander to spar.
Yeah, they do that.
Okay. Caelum, make a strength check. Cori, make a strength check.
All right.
You won't be at disadvantage anymore because you have learned how to fight one-armed.
Teresa taught me how to have an arm.
I'm gonna get wrecked.
Is this athletics or strength?
This is it's basically like making an attack roll.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get wrecked.
Are you? 13.
Oh.
So, Cori, you have had mostly training in, yes, Levi Phipps. Cori currently only has one arm.
Sure did miss something, didn't you?
Hey, welcome. Don't skip episodes.
Yeah, it's important. So, Cori, as you are fighting against Caelum, you realize that the entire time that you have been training for up close combat, but because Caelum uses a spear and actually keeps you at a distance, normally in this situation, you would use your shield and kind of bat down the spear and then get close, but without that capability, you have had to kind of relearn your footwork, and Caelum, being the smart young individual that he is paying closer attention to kind of like stabbing closer towards your feet to make it so that way you can't actually do your footwork to get in close.
I think that she manages to actually do like a weird like twisty movement with her sword to actually get his spear away. And as she like twirls in to get close to him, he just bashes her with his shield and she falls on her butt.
For sure.
He will extend a hand down, like prop a spear into his shield hand, put his hand down and pull her up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should look into saber fencing.
Saber fencing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And she like will take a stance. Like if she still had her left arm, it would be like behind her back, and just kind of stand like that.
And the Eye of Saloon pops onto Caelum's head as he will, correct her stance for like a fencing style of footwork.
Parry, thrust. No, it's just universe. No, come on, guys.
I was thinking more of Evil Dead, but okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's also a good reference. So, you are teaching Cori how to do more of a fencing style of fighting. Gwen, what are you and the Council Skyfire up to?
We are, this is the last 10 days?
This is for the last 10 days, yes.
We are planning and starting to execute the move. Gwen will keep an eye on Teresa, like every once in a while, like someone else in the council's talking, she'll just be like looking at him, looking at her, looking at him, and if he catches her, she's just like very obviously checking out like their interactions with each other.
Okay. Yeah. At the end of one of these meetings where you are checking them out, Casil will actually come up to you and say,
I noticed that you were looking more... Sorry, I need to lower my register for that. I noticed you were looking at Barda and Toriso during our meeting. Is there something I should know about?
Oh, no, I just remember, like, back in the day, kid stuff. I'm just having memories about the tribe and, you know, all the lovely things that we used to do as kids, the trouble we used to get up to. You remember.
he shakes his head no. He was not one of your childhood friends here.
Yeah, I'm sure you did stuff like that when you were a little Goliathling.
I helped raise the Aurochs. It has been my lot in life since forever.
Are you good with that? I mean, there are opportunities elsewhere if you'd like. Cross-training, you know.
I met my husband via raising Aurochs. We do fine.
All right, I'm just saying. There's a lot of jobs. If you want to just like take a week somewhere else, you know, I'm sure we can fill in and, you know, I just want to make sure everyone's happy and doing what they love with the people they love, you know, so.
I do.
Good.
I am happy.
I'm glad. You look very happy.
And he just has like this stone, vacant expression, just, thank you.
You're a good dude.
He just kind of nods and says,
I try my best.
and then he makes his leave of you. And then at this point, Terizo ends up coming up to you after one of these meetings gone awry and just,
Is everything okay, sister?
I think so. Is everything okay?
Uh,
Brother?
Yes? I noticed you noticing me, and I was curious as to why.
If everyone's gone, right?
yeah, this is just the two of you. This is
Okay,
kind of like
yeah.
later on in the evening, he was
Yeah.
visiting you at your tent. Just
You know,
more of
just
a
like you kind of promised me a niece or nephew, so I'm just kind of waiting for that.
Give time. Soon there will be enough. What is so a niece or nephew?
Yeah, like from you.
What does it matter?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't, but, you know, it's always nice to, like, come home and have, like, a kid to mess around with. I'd be the funnest aunt ever.
I'm sure you would be. But there is
Complications.
he nods.
Yeah. I know. I've heard. Kind of sucks.
we make do with what we get.
Yeah.
But if I had the chieftain's blessing, things might be a little easier.
And what would you give the chieftain for this blessing?
So we give you what you said you fucking wanted, either a nephew or a niece.
Would you name it after me?
Is that what you want?
No, I don't. But
I don't want that either.
I appreciate that you
Having
thinking
a
about
sister
it for
and a
second.
child with the same name, that's a little weird.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you the blessing. Obviously, I want you to be happy. Do you think other people would be like upset by that? Because apparently, there's a lot in politics that I don't quite understand.
I think that it would not necessarily be easy to do or maneuver, but we make things work here.
All right. Well, why don't we give things some time to simmer? on the council because it's new. Yeah. Hey, while you're here, what did you think of Phillip? I know he was only here for like fucking 2 days, but
Oh, you mean the chatterbox?
yeah.
He seemed small. When we surrounded him on our Aurochs, he screamed rather loud. I think it was his mount, passed out.
That seems like the case, yes. He's not very mighty. But he's trying.
He did take down that winged creature.
Kind of just left, though, right? That's pretty shitty.
Didn't you do the same thing with your people?
Yeah, but like... I didn't tell them I was gonna... Well, okay, I did tell them I was gonna do something, and I didn't... Well, they told me I was gonna do something, and I didn't do it, but... I mean, you saw how they were. Like, I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to be like you guys. And now I am.
Maybe that's what he wanted. He realized, he wanted to be more like you guys.
But shouldn't he stay with us to do that? I mean, he said he wanted to get married for, political shit, and then he just left.
Oh, that sounds like true love right there. Getting married for political shit.
I'm just saying, I was trying to do the right thing, and apparently he told Arjan to tell me that I have a biological brother now who lives up in Greenreach with my biological parents, and what am I supposed to do with that shit?
And there's a moment of silence, and then Teresa puts a hand on his chest. I have a little brother?
No, Teresa, no. I mean, if you want, I guess we could go steal him or something, but...
I am no child napper.
I was just saying, you got really excited there for a second.
Well, of course, it's the same as if you came back and I said, hey, here's your niece and nephew that you were so interested about.
Why? That's a halfling person that doesn't belong to me anymore. I'm in the family.
Just because you do not claim ownership of them doesn't mean that they are not still your family.
I mean, I kind of left them because I didn't...
Did you leave your parents or did you leave your brother?
Well, I didn't have a brother at the time, and he doesn't even... Well, apparently he does know I exist, but I don't know what he knows about me.
So why don't you go there and set the record straight?
I don't want to deal with all that nonsense.
Then don't. If somebody talks shit, they get hit.
Well, or I could just, disguise myself when I go there and deceive everyone. Deceiver!
Gwen.
What?
You left how many years ago?
It's 20. Ish.
You are covered in tattoos. You have a giant axe on your back. Your head is shaved.
Phillip recognized me in 4.5 seconds.
Because based on what I've heard, he has been pining after you for 25 years.
I know, the poor kid. Well, I am pretty sweet, okay?
I know. You're my kid sister.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Cori's thing's gonna lead us up there anyways. I just figured I'd keep a low profile so no one knows who I am, so I don't have to deal with that shit.
Why not instead just go there, axe swinging, as it were?
What? You want me to take the tribe and we can take over
no,
like we did?
God, no.
Why not?
It's not even fun.
Well, I know.
They are like shin high on us.
I know. It'd be funny
what
though.
I'm saying is go in and show them the Gwen that you have become, rather than trying to hide yourself and then once you get found out, feel shame.
I mean, I'm not gonna feel
If you aren't going to be ashamed, why are you hiding yourself, sister?
Because I don't want to deal with it, Teresa. I don't want to... I'm just gonna do what my party members do and just avoid the problem altogether.
That doesn't sound healthy.
It's probably not, but you know what? It's only gonna be 2 days while we're up there, so
He just puts his hand up and says, "Whatever you say, my chieftain."
Fucking love that. Especially when it comes from you. Now, give me 10 push-ups!
And he looks at you. And he bends down. And you see him, with his finger, write something into the dirt. And then he stands up, kind of brushes his hands, turns around, and walks away.
She reads it.
And it says, "Go fuck yourself in giant."
She just cackles as he leaves.
All right, and as he ends up leaving as well. Or as he ends up leaving, so that was your plan, was to just get the tribe ready for their eventual migration. Awesome. So, Caelum, what would you like to do for your last 10 days?
Last 10 days, speak to Saloon. Well, I'll try to speak to Saloon about the whole sleep hopping thing. If not, try to find Brother Gruen.
Okay. So over 10 days, you'd be able to do both of those things. It would not be difficult. So you are speaking with... So you end up going to the library. You end up finding the journal. You open it up. And as you do, you see that a note is scrawled in. And it just says, "It's been a while."
Sorry, things have gotten hectic out here.
I know.
So, you also know about the whole sleep jumping thing?
And she says, "In part."
Okay, do you have any insight on that?
Her response is that in dreams, the power of knowledge is able to warp dream space. That because you willed it, it was so. And then she gives you a diagram of what looks like Gwen running down a hallway and then pulling her shadow up from the ground and wrapping it around her arm. And then says, "This happened. Your friend willed it."
So, would this be also considered a dream space?
And you see that there is a pause. And then it says, "This is my space."
No, this is Facebook. No. Oh, okay. So because you allowed me to enter this space from my dream?
The library is
The
mine.
library.
Outside of the library is what you believe it to be.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go try something, but thank you.
And it says, "Don't be a stranger."
The full moon is coming up. And I have yet to do any ceremonies for you, so look forward to that.
And the response that you get is, "When you're ready."
He will nod his head, close the book gently, and then walk outside, locking the library behind him. He's going to close his eyes and imagine a field of stars.
Make an Arcana check.
22.
As you are imagining this field of stars directly above you, You see that the just kind of roiling void that is above having these small blips of light that seem to manifest and then eventually kind of coalesce into a night sky, almost separating out the royal.
Huh. He smells to himself.
Make a concentration check.
Ooh, brother. 17.
You feel like you are getting mental strain keeping this up there, but you are able to hold it.
If it progresses too far, he'll drop it.
You're able to hold on to it. It just, you can feel yourself having to focus on it. With the door, you focused on it, walked through it, and then it immediately disappeared. You weren't necessarily focusing on it once you passed through. But focusing on this field of stars is what's bringing about these concentration checks.
Okay. On another night, he's going to ask Cori to trance with him.
That's a little forward for you, don't you think? She seems hesitant, and will admit to you that she doesn't see anything in her trances. That since the Raven Queen took her seasons, her visions have been blank.
That... Why didn't you say anything before?
I didn't think it was relevant.
Coriander, you're part of our party. Anything that pertains to you is relevant to us.
That's fair. Well, you know now.
Would you like to try tonight?
Okay.
Okay. So as the two of you sit down and assume your meditating positions, Caelum, you end up finding yourself on the plateau, as you always do. And Cori, you just see darkness. Caelum, Cori never appears.
Well... After the 4 hours, when they wake up, he'll just look over her. I'm sorry.
We have only ever had trouble from that to begin with. It's probably good the temptation is gone now.
We'll fix this, Cori.
And she just kind of puts her hand over the raven skull and says, I know we will.
All right. So, later on, Arjan, you end up having another dream with Makoth. And as she motions for you to play dragon chess, it's weird. Because as you look at her, you see that her hand was moving rather quickly and then kind of seems to stop. And the fire that is always kind of flickering very gently in the fireplace, you see that there are flames and embers that seem to stop in midair as well. And that is when the curtains that are kind of hanging along the walls end up getting drawn back, and you look out and you see that sitting on this stone dais with a finger kind of tracing the symbol of the five-headed dragon, you see the blue form of Tiamat. And she stands up and she walks into the room and kind of circles around Makoth once, looks her up and down, and then she looks at you. Who's this?
It's a friend.
I believe we had an agreement. Is this friend important to you?
She is.
Then why? Why did you disobey what I asked, my pet? We had one very small agreement, which was that the information about my consort was going to stay between you, Newell, my newest assistant, and me.
Because I, as a player, forgot.
For that, I am deeply sorry. So, I might have to take some actions. You understand that, don't you? We can't have this information getting out, even if it is to a very dear friend. Don't worry, I won't kill her. Not yet, anyways. But let me make one thing vehemently clear for you. You are a vessel for my consort. You are doing your best, and I appreciate that. But when your queen asks you, it's not an ask. This is my law. And you've broken it. So, pet, what do you do to make it up to your queen?
You want followers. You want gold.
That's for you. That's for me to even consider giving you a fraction of my power. This... She motions towards Makoth again. Why, this is for her safety. So what is the safety of a dear friend worth to you? Again, I won't kill her. For I am a kind and forgiving goddess.
What is it you want?
There are many things that I want, many of which I've already explained to you. And it seems like even if I were to continue to elaborate the things that I want, you might not get the message. So, while you think on it, I'd like for you to know she's not going to die. She might wish that she was, but she won't. So remember, close friends, people you care about. Newell got off easy. They're just my secretary. And believe me, I have a lot of incoming calls. But this one... I think I'm going to sit on it for a little while. Leave you guessing. So until next time, pet, remember, just you, me, and Newell. Do we understand each other?
Crystal.
Excellent. Now get some sleep. And as she does, she reaches up with a single hand and just touches you on your nose. And as she does, you see that she seems to almost turn to dust in front of you. Makoth turns to dust in front of you, and the room around also fades to black.
Indoor, what the fuck?
Does this change anything that Arjan would like to do for his remaining 10 days?
No.
All right. Cori, what would you like to do during your last 10 days?
God, cry a lot, but no, that's wings. Cori, is gonna feel bad for keeping secrets from Caelum and try to be a little bit more open about what's going on with her. She'll let him know that, like, she doesn't really need to eat anymore so that he doesn't worry if he doesn't see her eating. Just kind of give him the rundown on what's going on with that. I think she'll include the rest of the group in that as well. Does she notice if Arjan is acting differently?
Arjan, make a deception check. Or a persuasion, depending on whichever one that you would feel like.
It's the same modifier for both, and it's a 4.
Hey, Arjan, you also get your blood die.
I don't fucking care.
Alrighty. Cori, make an insight check.
No, I missed. Okay. How insightful am I? 13.
Look, another 4.
All right.
Arjan is
Cori.
definitely acting a little more nervously.
All right. Cori notices that Arjan is having a little trouble. And I don't think she pushes him to tell her, but she makes a point to spend more time with him, to just kind of be there if he wants to talk.
Great. Love it. Can't. She just chooses to be there for him. And she doesn't push it because she knows what it's like to not want to talk about the things that are bothering you. And these 10 days are when the full moon happens, yeah?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Correct me if you think that this scene shouldn't happen, but when the moon turns full, Cori will wander off on her own. She'll find a nice clearing out in the woods, and she will dance in the moonlight the way she used to with Oliviette, and summon some dancing lights like moonfire.
Okay. So
and
as the silvered fire wreaths around your body, you look down and you see that there are still flames that cover where your hand and arm should be. And as you continue to dance, you see that these lights are actually leaving, at times, what looks almost like an after image. And as you continue to dance and close your eyes and just focus on trying to recapture that joy that you felt, as you look up, you realize that there is a figure that is dancing with you. There is a silver flamed silhouette that seems to be holding onto your hand and reaching down and is holding where your other hand should be. And you look over and you see that your flaming figure is also currently dancing on its own.
Is the figure I'm dancing with Olivia?
You are fairly certain.
Yeah.
And make a performance check.
Oh boy. Well.
So a 16.
Mm-hmm.
What emotional conveyance would you like to deliver through your dance to Olivia? You are unable to speak to her directly, but this is the language of dance.
Mm-hmm. Cori misses her so much it hurts. It's the emotion that she conveys is pain.
And at the end of your dance, this figure that is in front of you, this silver outlined figure, where you know yours has like a head of wild flaming hair, but Oliviette's is much shorter, so it's kind of easier to distinguish between the two. Mm-hmm. After you have had this dance, the flaming figure puts a hand up and just rests it against your cheek. And almost as a gut reaction, you feel yourself like slump a little bit into it, and there is almost a sense of resistance. Like there is almost a little bit of this not necessarily etherealness to the flames. It seems like there's almost a little bit more substance to it. And then afterwards, the hand you feel kind of come down your cheek. And then the figure comes close and you feel the arms wrap around you and there is warmth. And in this feeling of warmth, you feel the silvered form nestle her head into the side of your neck. There is a little bit tighter of a squeeze. And then as the moon shifts out from being directly high enough into the sky, the figure dissipates. And you see that your flaming form kind of reaches a hand out, and then the fingers close and just kind of come down to the sides.
I think Cori will actually drop to her raven form and just cry alone for a while.
Sounds good. All right. And as you're having this moment alone in the woods, Caelum.
As night approaches, he takes off his armor and puts on his saloon vestments. He picks up his shield and waits a few minutes for Amaris to come out. He extends a hand down to her and just says, "Let's take a walk."
And she reaches her hand up and very, very much like a young child holding on to the hand of a parent, just grabs hold of your hand, and then the two of you begin walking. Where are you going?
He would have also asked for maybe a flask of milk.
They have Auroch milk for you. It's fine.
And he will walk out of the tribe limits underneath the moonlight and commune with Saloon, show her that yes, this is what he promised. This is how he's going to show his faith to her.
Make a religion check.
Oh, dirty 20.
Nice. So as you pour this milk, this Arak milk, into a saucer, and you say some prayers while wearing your vestments, Amaris you see what looks almost like she has her hands behind her back, and she kind of kicks back on her heels, looks down at the milk, and then looks up at you and tilts her head off to the side curiously.
In the teachings of Saloon, when we do what is called a night stalk, milk is presented, and if the goddess shows favor with you, she turns the milk into something special.
And Amaris then just cocks her head back and then gives you a very big nod. And she offers to take your hand again, but instead offers up both of her hands.
He tilts his head quizzically, and reaches down.
And as she takes your hands, you see that she kind of begins to sway back and forth a little bit. Almost like she is trying to initiate a dance with you, but the sizing is a little bit difficult.
I'll prop her up on my feet like a little kid at the wedding.
Okay. And as you are focused on this, make a performance check.
Can I use my blessing of Saloon to become proficient in performance?
Yes, you can. This seems like the most apt time to use the blessing of Saloon.
Hey. 18.
So with an 18, you close your eyes as the Eye of Saloon opens. And as you do, you feel Amaris's presence on your feet as you kind of just rock back and forth in this very, very gentle dance. And as you do, you don't notice that you aren't moving on the ground anymore until you are about 5 minutes in or so of this dance, just kind of enjoying this very brief, intimate moment. And as you open up your eyes, you realize that you are a good 30 feet off the ground. You are currently just floating in the night sky with this ghostly child on your feet. And you know that this is part of the night stalk.
Oh, okay.
You have never successfully completed it before, but you feel like you are doing it now.
He'll pick Amaris up and spin her around like that sort of Ghibli in the Field of Flowers spin.
Oh, yeah. And after about 20 minutes or so, and as you're spinning her around, you were just gaining height. The people of the tribe are going to be talking about this for a while, as they have seen a floating man dancing with a ghostly child in the light of the moon. Until eventually, after you have done kind of swinging her around, and you feel inside of you, there is this kind of bubbling sense of joy that comes with it, that seems to creep from your arms then deep into your chest. And as you make your way back down onto the ground, you see Amaris then let go of your hands, and she takes a quick step back, and then she wraps both of her arms around your legs and just gives you a very big hug.
Hand comes down and pats the top of her head.
You may now add Kegmoth's ointment to your inventory. As you look down at the milk that you have been dancing over, and it is no longer as kind of milky as it was before, and now seems to have taken on more of a thicker quality to it, and it is a silvery color. The same
Can you
silver as
spell
moonlight.
that?
Kheog.
Kheog. Oh, that's my bad.
Kogmoth's. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. That's a dummy name. It is your moon ointment.
I found gunpowder keg.
That's not it. You did not get that by dancing in the moon.
Well, just send to me later.
Okay. Sounds good. So yes, you have gained this. It basically acts as a health poultice. So if you apply it to somebody who is injured, they will eventually heal. It's a pretty good thing to do.
Holy shit.
Like limbs?
No. But it can cure poisons and disease as well as heal. And it comes with charges, so you can use it multiple times.
Yeah, I get back charges.
These charges do not come back.
It regains 2d. Oh, the creature that receives it gains 2d8 plus 2 points of healing, and ceases to be poisoned and is cured of any disease.
So yes, dancing under the full moon, you were able to successfully gain some ointment.
Ointment for my eczema.
You're cured of that eczema now, thanks to the ointment of the moon goddess. So.
I just killed Cypher. I'm sorry.
So. Yes, you have successfully done this during your time. And towards the end of this last set of 10 days, Chu actually calls for you specifically, Caelum.
Okay.
And as you enter in, she is silent. Like she doesn't know how to phrase a question until finally she says, "All right, I am just going to come out and say it. That was you a few days ago, floating in the air?"
Yes, I was just performing a ceremony.
For who?
For Saloon. We spoke briefly about her.
That is fair. Who are you dancing with?
She...
I saw you walking through the tribe with a little spirit. Is a friend?
Yeah, she came to me when I asked for one. Oh no, I don't remember that. She's always been with me.
I see. I don't know. I don't want to tell you anything. If it might bring false hope. If it might put from what you have told me about your interaction, about your friend Coriander's interaction with the Raven Queen, What was it that she asked for?
The child.
When the Raven Queen was in the process of ascending, she was with child.
Caelum takes a step back, pulls up like one of the ceremonial drums and just sits on it, and he starts hyperventilating.
And Chua just puts a bowl of herbs in front of you and lets the vapors kind of come into your hyperventilating lungs, and you feel yourself calming a little bit. Your brain's a little fuzzy, but you feel yourself calming.
So, you're telling me that you assume that the spirit living in my shield is the Raven Queen's child, and Cori has told me that she wants the child. It was
Caelum.
It was never about me. It was
Caelum.
never about me. It was never about me.
Caelum, you don't know who your parents are.
No.
You have been on the material plane for as long as you can remember, correct?
Yes.
And she wants you. You share similarities with her.
He takes the bowl and puts it under his face again.
Deep breaths.
How does this even happen?
It wasn't supposed to.
What do you mean by that? It wasn't supposed to.
Do you think the Raven Queen purposely tried to ascend to godhood? That part was not supposed to happen.
But this would have been like thousands of years ago.
Gods do not pay attention to time. If you were left,
if I was left?
If you were left, it could have been someone trying to keep you safe.
Why? From who? From...
These things I don't know.
What does Amaris have to do with this then?
It could be either. You said that Selûne gave you this, or that you don't remember how this figure came about.
No, she was with me, I think. Like, is tapping his head, trying to remember exactly when she was there, but just can't.
It could be her. It could be you. The reason I tell you this is you make a show. You display yourself in front of the moon with this. She may be watching. She's always watching those she takes interest in.
I think I need to talk to some people.
I am sorry. If this is how things are to be for you. But I could not stay quiet. Because this is something that if your friends are taking you directly to her, to the rookery, this is something you needed to know.
Caelum will remain silent.
If you like, who are those that you need to talk to?
I don't know if telling them now, because if I tell my party, they are going to definitely say no to going back. But if anything were to happen on the road because of this, I don't think I could live with myself. I'm gonna have to talk with them.
You are the only one who will know of this. This is your story to tell, not mine.
And she offers you some tea to help sort of calm and steel your nerves.
He'll wait till the next day to gather everyone. In Chua's tent, if she will allow it.
Yeah, Chua will definitely allow that to happen, and she will, if you would like, will stay around. Otherwise, she will let you have free use of the space.
He'll ask her to stay just in case she can shed any more light on the situation.
She's brewing tea.
She's
brewing some tea.
And as everyone enters, Caelum points a finger at the door, or at the entrance of it, and casts a zone of silence on the entryway.
What are you doing?
What's the time frame of this? Is this like the next morning, same night?
Next morning, because I have to re-prepare my spells.
Got it.
So Chua has, okay, for one, nothing said in this tent can be said out loud outside.
Just as a reminder, I have a spirit living in my head.
I think he's fine.
Hold on, Caelum.
Yes?
And Arjan will take off his holy symbol and yeet it about 60 feet away.
You could just put it in the zone of silence.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh, that didn't seem respectful at all.
Don't read too much into this, Cori.
Yes, Caelum, is there something you need to tell us?
Shua has told me that the village has seen me dancing in the moonlight with Amaris. And she's revealed to me that I might be the child of the Raven Queen.
The what? Can gods procreate?
She wasn't a god before she ascended. She was pregnant.
How long ago was that? How old are you?
Mid-20s, from last I checked.
In like elf years?
How is this even possible?
I look over to Chua.
And she is just like steadily stirring one of the teacups and says,
It is a speculation. Gods do not play by the same set of rules that we do. Caelum does not know who his family is. He shares many qualities with the queen.
Like physically?
She became a god by overcasting. Caelum has learned how to do this thing.
And
from what I have heard from you, Gwen, he is quite adept at it.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't make any sense. You were a foundling. You were raised in a monastery.
So who's your daddy?
I don't know. During Brother Gruen's final lesson, he told me that he had hoped that I did not turn out how his last pupil had become. So, I might be under the assumption that before she ascended, she was his pupil. That's the only way she would have learned how, by mastering the language of the lost.
So you're going to be a god? Is that what I'm getting from this?
Gwen, she told Cori to bring her the child.
Yeah, so we don't, obviously.
But if she doesn't, I think it's going to get worse.
Well, what is?
Whatever's happening to Cori, whatever's might happen to us, she's a god.
Well, I mean, no offense, Cori, but like, if it's between your seasons and Caelum's life, I feel like...
There's hardly anything more that she can do to me. What's she going to do to you?
It's not going to be just me or you. It's going to be everyone, I feel, if I don't return.
Wait, so, but what can she actually do? Like, she's a god, but she's the god of, like, at death's door, right?
He points to Coriander.
Yeah, but she was dying.
She ripped out an essential part of... I'm sorry. Essentially, she ripped out Coriander's soul for hell's sake and turned her into, well, what I know, a revenant.
Make an Arcana or a History check.
Both are the same stat. Wow, 23.
You would understand You would know that this phrase, especially like with Gwen having told you about the past with Goliaths and how they end up having their revenants come back to continue fighting wars, you're pretty sure that this is the same thing as what's happened to Cori.
She turned Cori into a revenant, and I don't think I can, on good conscience, let everyone I know become a revenant. Or worse, whatever she has in store if I never show up to begin with.
Well, what do you want to do?
Honestly, I'm scared.
Gwen grabs his hand.
I'm scared to find out what all this culminates to. But we gotta. Because that's on the docket of problems we have, right?
I guess, yeah. But gods work on different timelines, right? I mean, if you are her child, you're like thousands of years late already, so
A few more days then.
I mean, I was thinking years, but we have a lot of shit to do.
You do have a lot of shit to do.
I wouldn't tempt the gods' patience.
And Chua comes over and delivers each of you a mug of tea. And she says, I agree with your friend. The patience of a god runs much shorter than you would ever assume.
So, Cori, what exactly did she say to you?
The child flew too far from the nest.
That literally could be anything. We could bring her a fucking raven.
She was pretty clearly referring to Caelum.
Wait. Then why didn't you know that until now?
I did know that.
Then why didn't you tell us?
I did.
But we didn't think about it literally me being her child.
I don't think that she's evil, but I know that she is not good. I would be wary.
Caelum is quiet for a moment and chuckles a little bit. Well, she has a face, right?
Yes.
2 of them, in fact.
So we could punch her twice as hard.
She squeezes his hand. Really hard, sorry.
Ow.
Sorry.
God.
And as you squeeze Caelum's hand, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So, I would like to say, first and foremost, thank you to this wonderful audience for sticking with us all the way through to the very end. And thank you to these awesome players. We did it! We fast played a month, guys!
Fuck you!
Yeah!
God damn it, Steven. Go to
You
your corner.
still managed to squeeze in a month's worth of gut punches. Oh my god! I am so full of dread.
Excellent! That is exactly where we should be, because next week we are going to be heading towards the wonderful countryside of Green Reach, and we will see all of you.
Right now, I want to deal with halfling melodrama. Please let me deal with halfling melodrama.
Oh!
Give me the soap opera back!
Well, then get Phillip the fuck back here.
So, it will not actually be Phillip joining us next week, but instead I have been in chats with our dear friend Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern. We are finally going to get him onto the show. He has been dying to get in on this, and the original plan was that RJ was going to be gone during next week and the week after. So instead, hey, guess what? Caelum gets to play with GB too. It's a good time.
Ow.
So, one of our longest fans gets to be one of our newest friends. How about that? Yay! So,
Doesn't make any sense. He was on shows with us before.
exactly! So,
That's a
RJ,
main character, motherfucker.
RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ here on the show, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about how my coworker calls me daddy sometimes. But daddy is my father, so. You can also catch me, hey, tomorrow I'll be playing some Hollow Knight on my day off, and we'll be progressing through the fucking sewers. God damn. Sorry. You can catch me. Oh no, wait. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll be playing Hollow Knight, and you won't catch me tomorrow evening because we'll have the guest game. But you can catch me next week as Bartholomew, the human blood hunter ranger werewolf, awoo, in chat. And see what the Melreska and Bellevue siblings are up to in Barovia, run by Nate Keener. Catch me also on Sundays over at Pro Restarter stream, where I play as G3, the Robo, with the lovely LBHackEmUp. Also, hey, catch me over at Open It for Adventure. I'm helping out there. Sometimes when I have downtime at work, I throw a thing in. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I love y'all. DanakeKeener.com.
Hi everyone, I'm LBHackEmUp. These are my kittens. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters. You can see me normally tomorrow with Danae Keener and Indoor on the Curse of Strahd, but I will not be there this week. We will be playing on Damaberry's channel on a Wednesday, Ghost of Saltmarsh. We have moved it to an every other week, which this week we're on. And then we're also on for Monster of the Week on Sunday at 4. And, and with RJ at 8 p.m. on Pro Restarter's channel. And here's a belly scratch. Oh, get a belly. I'll get a belly. Hoi! DanaeKeener.com.
I'm Cyber. You can find me at CyberWolf1201 on the Twitter, where I tweet stuff. I go live on twitch.tv/CyberWolf1201. We're playing The Wolf Among Us, and it's been a real good time. Archives of that go to a youtube.com/CyberWolf1201, where you can find those gameplay archives, some D&D Beyond homebrew tutorials, and a podcast that Kyle with an N I do called Let's Talk About It, where we get drunk, do parkour, and talk about RPG stuff. Gen Con episode is up. Steven's in it. There's another episode that's going to go up at some point. Steven's in it. Spoilers. RPG stuff. I'm here today. I'm here on Thursday. I play a Calastra Bard yeah, DanaeKeener.com. I hurt.
Hello, everybody. My name is DanaeKeener.com. You can find me over on Danae Keener. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and stuff on this channel. You can find me here on Monday playing Coriander the Eldrin Paladin, or on Tuesdays running Curse of Strahd. Tomorrow, as the folks have said, I'm going to be running the guest game. That's going to include GB and Steven and Connor and JD Lady. And there's a fifth one there. Oh God, hold on. Isn't there?
Barry.
No, Barry's dead.
No,
Barry's dead.
Whoops.
It's
There's
the guy
Barry.
sitting right next to you.
Oh, it's Tyler. Hi, Tyler. I was trying to think of all the internet people that could possibly be there. It's a funny joke too, because Tyler's going to be playing a ghost that no one can see. So there you go. Tune in tomorrow to see what happens in Berez with the guest group. And then next week to find out what happens at Yesterhill now that fucking Speedy's turned into a werewolf. And I've decided to do one of my classic cutaways. DanaeKeener.com.
Excellent. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey fella, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am pretty sure that I am going to be having a early morning Wednesday stream starting next week. It's just a chill hangout. It'll be fun times. Maybe we'll play some video games. Maybe we'll build some Gundams. Maybe we'll do a one-shot. You never know. It's just a day that ended up working with my work schedule. If you enjoyed the show that you had, or you had gut-wrenching dread for the last hour or so, consider going to patreon.com/Indoor Adventures and help support the show that way, because in doing so, that will gain you access to our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community at large. And I do believe that there will be a series of questions later this evening about the context of this game. So consider joining our Discord to ask us questions. With that in mind, guys, thank you so much for putting up with my bullshit once again this week, and we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!